Hi guys, welcome back to Stitch by Stitch Recovery. I'm Harriet and this is my Flosstube. I have no notes this week, so we're just gonna see how it goes. I'm winging it completely. It's a lot later than it usually is. I've been procrastinating on making this video just because I haven't really felt like making one, and I haven't stitched all that much this last week and a half. As the date for the bone marrow transplant gets closer, I'm finding that I have a lot of nervous energy that is not conducive to sitting down and stitching for a long period of time. But I have done some stuff. I think when I left you last, I wasn't sure if the bone marrow transplant was going to go ahead. Thankfully, the leukemia hasn't come back. That has been beaten by the 2 rounds of chemotherapy that I did. So I'm in remission for the leukemia. However, I'm not in remission for the myelodysplasia. I still have some cells that are, there's Nova, that are, they don't look like they should in my bone marrow. I think the best way to explain it to people who don't know what it is, and honestly, I'd never heard of myelodysplasia until I got actually diagnosed with it, is that there is something wrong in the blueprint of some of my bone marrow cells, and that causes them to mutate and not look the way they should. Kind of like sickle cell anemia in the blood, and how the red blood cells transform themselves into sickle shapes. Some of my marrow just isn't right. So I'm having a full bone marrow transplant to hopefully get rid of that blueprint and then put in another blueprint on top of it and have that one work, and have that one kind of keep the leukemia at bay and never allow it to come back. So on the 16th of October, I will be going into the Royal Melbourne Hospital for 4 to 8 weeks, depending on who you talk to. And hopefully once I'm out, I'll be sick, and I'll still have the risk of getting sick and of my body rejecting the donor marrow. But hopefully I won't have the threat of leukemia coming back, sorry. I have lip gloss on, and it's like all around my mouth because my lips have gotten very dry. We had an amazing last couple of days weather-wise in Melbourne, and today it's just turned to absolute crap. I was out with my brother playing mini golf for just a sister-brother activity day thing, and it started raining, and it hasn't stopped for a good 2-3 hours, I guess. He's still learning to drive, so he drove in the, under my supervision, he drove in the rain, and then when it got quite heavy, we pulled over and I started driving. But he did alright, only one major issue. I now know how my parents felt when I was learning to drive, but I think I'm actually a lot better at, well, I should be, I've had a lot more practice, but I think at the stage that he's at, I think I was a bit better. I think I just didn't wibble about quite so much, and so on Australia we drive on the left hand side of the road, and he tends to go towards the right. No, sorry, he tends to go towards the left hand side of the lane, which means sometimes he ends up in the gutter, and I'm just like, come on, out of the gutter, please. Like, I feel very close to the side of the road, especially because I tend to be more on the right hand side of the lane unless I'm in the center, which I'm generally in the center, but if anything I'll drift towards the right hand side rather than the left. I didn't get much stitching done, and the last week and a half, and I don't think I'll get much done this week before I go in for the transplant. My parents, sorry, Nova's just gone right in front of me. My parents both have a day this week, and then I'm seeing a friend as well, and my brother had a day this week as well, so really yesterday was the only chance I had to stitch much, unless I stitch at night. The weekend I've got another event on for a Minecraft server that I'm a part of that I hope to join in with, even if it means waking up at 4 AM again, like the last two. Just so that I can participate in something before I get really sick and can't do it. And then once my parents are taking care of me, my schedule and behaviours will have to change completely, because there's a lot that they don't know that I do. And I'm not sure I'm completely comfortable playing Minecraft in front of them, and then they don't know I do a Flosstube either. So after the bone marrow transplant, when I come out, it may be a bit hard to do things, but hopefully my partner will be looking after me, and when I'm able to film, I'll be able to film. I'm hoping I'll be able to get some stitching done during the hospital and then afterwards. I keep saying and I can hear myself saying it. I'm like in my head, stop saying that's really bad of you, that's not how you're supposed to speak in public. But I'm just so distracted today, and if I don't film this now, even though it's probably going to not be a very good video, I won't film before the transplant, and then everyone will be like, where did she go, what's happening? And I don't know, I feel like I want to come on here and say I'm doing okay. From the 16th I'll be in hospital. Yeah, I'm prepared to get quite sick, but I will get through it. Hey, don't do that. Come here. But I'll get through it. I keep repeating that to my parents as well. I'll get through it, don't worry. I'll be sick for a while, but then I'll get through. I don't know if they've thought about what will happen if the transplant doesn't work, because in reality, only 60% of bone marrow transplants work, and I'm probably like, the chances of me getting myelodysplasia are so minute that it's ridiculous. Like, it's an old person's disease. It's very prevalent in people over 70. It shows up in people over 60. It's kind of common in people over 50, and then the chances of having it just drop astronomically. So that and it's more common in men. This is gonna be a pretty talky episode, probably. Hopefully I won't bore you too long. So it's an old person's disease. It's more common in men, and I am a 27-year-old female who, I haven't done much, really. I've worked full-time since I was 18. I've been a manager at Kmart. I've got my bachelor degree in marine biology, and that took me 5 years to do because I was doing full-time uni and full-time work at the same time. So it wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't work, is where I'm going with it. And I've got to be positive in front of everyone, including my partner, because he's already flat as it is, and I don't want to make it worse. But it's a very real reality that I won't get better from this. And, that's really concerning. And I'm gonna cry, and I should cut this out. I'm sorry if I don't cut it out. But I told my partner yesterday that I was nesting, basically. Not pregnant, but I went through... You're gonna fall off. Yeah, you're gonna fall off. Can you... There we go. You better now? Good. You're not better. Okay, fair enough. I wasn't covered in fluff before, and now I am. But it's really concerning to me that the chances of me surviving this bone marrow transplant, I think I've got 2 there, oh well, are only 60%. Because I can't do that to my family. I can't not have it work. Because it would break my parents. And I don't know how my partner would survive. He's not very good on his own. But yeah, I've been nesting and trying to get just all of the excess crap out of our apartment so that he doesn't have to, if it comes to that. And so also so I don't have to see it all when I come back. And so I don't feel any stress about it when I come back. But I've been looking at my stash, and I just have so much stuff. So much stuff. I completely understand why Christine from Stitch All the Things has done a massive de-stash. Like, you guys have seen my mirror patterns and my Noracorbits. I was talking with my partner's with my mother-in-law. I probably have over 50 mirrors and Noracorbits. Like 50 designs from just one designer. And yes, I love them all and I want to stitch them all. But my reality is that I might not be able to. This might not be a very positive episode. I'm sorry if I bore you. I'm sorry if it's negative, but I kind of think I need to do this. I will get to the stitching in a minute. So, I've been nesting and trying to clean stuff up in the apartment. And I've done so much washing within the last week. I think I must have done like 20 loads of washing. Our wardrobes were empty and now they're completely bursting. So I need to go through and throw all of our old clothes out. And then I need to go I need to go through and do all mine, and then I need to go through with partner and do all his, because he won't do it himself. But having stuff had never concerned me before. And now as I get closer and closer to the bone marrow transplant, it's too much stuff. It's just everywhere. And people keep giving us stuff. And I wish they would stop. I wish I would stop buying things. But we'll see. I have to be positive. I have to be positive for my family and for my friends, and I can't show them that I'm terrified and stressed, because it would break them. And I'm already broken enough. I don't need them broken too. Yeah. So let's take a drink and then get on with the stitching. You guys will be proud. I actually have a finish, like a finish. And yes, this is alcoholic. Vodka, lime, and mineral water, because we didn't have any soda water, and I don't like soda water anyway. I'm really glad that people liked the ending to my last video. I wasn't sure if I should leave that in, but I'm really glad that I did now. Bye, sweetie. Yeah, I thought I'd leave it in for a laugh and see how it went, and no one's thumbs down it or like commented negatively on it, so yay. Thank you to everyone who comments on my videos. I really appreciate you guys commenting, even if it's just the thoughts and sending positive thoughts and prayers and everything. It's really appreciated. Good, you're gonna sleep there. Cats are distracting, aren't they? Where was I going? Oh, and for everyone who likes and subscribes, thank you so much. It's very appreciated. It's very encouraging to see people doing that. I have this issue when none of my clothes ever fit properly. Just an odd shape, I think. That, or I buy clothes that are too big because I think I'm bigger than I am, which could also be a thing, but I don't know, I'm pretty big, so just getting some of the fluff off with my trusty lint roller. They're so necessary with a cat like that. Anyway, my finish. Get back to stitching, Harriet. That's what they're here to see. This is a floss tube, not a you complaining video. Whoops. That's the chat. My finish is my letter H by Nora Corbett from Letters from Nora. I changed everything on this, so I think you could say it's a conversion. Whoops. It's not as impressive a conversion as like the ladies ones, but it's still a conversion. So I finished all of the beading, which is good, which is actually a relief. I'm glad I finally have another finish rather than just my dinosaur piece, even though I love the dinosaur piece. Is that gonna stay? Not really. There is a big mistake around here, but I'm not gonna go back and fix it. And I just love her so much. She looks amazing. She looks fantastic. And I actually really like the beads that are on her dress and in her hair and in through, like, here and her wings. Originally I didn't really like them, but I do quite like them now. I never know how to fold it now that it's got beads. So hopefully that'll be my first framed piece, but it won't be framed until after Christmas, I don't think. That was my one finish. I do have my next beading project up and ready to go. As we know, Miss Colombian Nymphalid, she needs all her beads. She's a bit, and her back stitching. She needs to be done. So I'll probably work on her tonight and then I'll have another finish. No, let's be realistic here. I'll work on her for the tonight. Goodness, Harriet, how long are you staying up? I'll probably work on her for the rest of the week. See how I go with the beading there. I'm a lot slower at beading than I am at back stitching, which I think is a universal thing. I did work on 2 other projects. I worked on Poor Stargazer. So this is the whips section now. I'm not gonna have titles, but this is the whip section. I worked on Stargazer by Mirabilia, I think for a total of an hour. I will put in what she looked like here. If I have a photo. If I don't have a photo, then I can't really remember. I think I remember what I did. But this is her now. Let's just put a thing in the back. These gram guards are great. So I worked up this section here and this greeny grey section here. Just so that I can get into this section of the dress next. But yeah, that's my Stargazer. That's how she's going at the moment. She's very neglected. I need to get her done by the end of the year for the Cross Stitch It's Fun group. But the rate I'm going, I won't have her finished for another like 3-4 years probably. We'll see. We'll see. The other one I worked on, and this was just yesterday for a couple of hours, take off the pattern because I'm not prepared and I'm winging it today, is Gardenia by Nora Corbett as well. I really love her. She's so fantastic. She's so pretty. And this is where I'm at with her. And I have a question for you guys. This is where I'm at. Will this red fabric rub onto my other fabric? Will that rub onto either the felt or the Lagana that's she's being stitched on? Hopefully I have inserted a picture of where she was at beforehand, but I basically came in and filled in one of the colours in here because there's 2 separate colours in through here. I know it does not look like it, but there is. And now I've just got one colour to do in here. And this bit's only half stitches because I just wanted to figure out the pattern, so I brought my thread up. And then I just got to go back in and fill all that in. So hopefully I'll get to work on her a bit more this week. She is looking great. I do like her. I'm pretty sure the fabric is now smaller than 32 count. Just because, and it's showing up really well. I didn't think my lighting would be great today because it's so cloudy and overcast and it's raining again. But it is actually, like, you can see the pink and the blue and the green, which is great. But yeah, my question to you guys, will this fabric rub? Should I wash it first to get some of the dye out of it? I hope it won't rub, but it might. But yeah, that's Gardenia. I really like her. She's really pretty. So they were my 1 finish and 2 whips. Hopefully I'll get more done on Stargazer this week. Hopefully. I'm not very confident that once the 16th hits, I'll be doing much stitching, but we can always see. I want to say thank you to everyone who shouted me out as well. I can't remember everyone. I know Kyle has. I know Julie from Gulf Coast Stitches has. You two are great. You two are so cool. You're so lovely. Kyle and I have mirabilia chats occasionally, which is quite good and quite funny. He's very funny. Who else do I know shouted me out? The Woolly-Hatted Stitcher. You guys should really go and check her out. She's really nice. She's got a ton of videos up. She's stitching some great projects. Some really great projects. Yeah. I'm now a part of Stitch Mania. I wasn't for the longest time because before they had the questions to answer to get into the group, they were like, the admins must be able to see from your profile that you stitch, and like you must have pictures of your stitching up. And I've never had, like, I have it on my Instagram, but I don't have it on my Facebook profile, because my Facebook profile, like, that's for family. I don't really post anything on that. I did on Friday because it was the Light the Night walk for the Leukemia Foundation, but like I don't generally post much to my Facebook wall. So I just had never been able to join Stitch Mania, basically, because they wanted to see evidence that you stitched, and I was just like, well, I don't have anything on there, so that's me gone. But now they ask questions to judge whether or not you can join, which is a much better way of doing things, I think. But where was I going with that? Oh, so they're doing Movember, so Mermaid November. And I've decided to start my first Mirabilia mermaid, or should I say mermaids? Maybe. The ums, they're just terrible today. It's probably because I'm talking without thinking. Like, usually I've thought everything through, and today just not. I had to get it done. I have to get something out for you guys. It's been too long now. But yeah, Stitch Mania, Movember. I'm quite excited, and this will be one of 2 new starts in November, which means I have to get finishes done, or I want to get finishes done, which is why I focused on the H so much. And beading takes a long time. It takes much longer than I thought it did. But my Movember start, let's get back on track. My Movember start is Mermaids of the Deep Blue by Nora Corbett, Mirabilia. And I need your help. I have 2 pieces of fabric that I want to stitch this on. 2. And I don't know which one I want to stitch it on. I really love how in this photo, they're like illuminated from behind. And I don't know how they did that with a, oh, well, it's Amsterdam linen. So it's not Witchell or Zweigart, or it might be, it just doesn't say. But I don't know how they did that. So maybe I should actually look up Amsterdam blue linen. But the 2 choices I currently have, and thank goodness the lighting is good today, is this one here. It's a very big piece of fabric, and it would actually go like this. And I'm pretty sure that would be the top of the piece. So they would be like reaching up to the light bit. So that's the whole piece. And that is, where has my bag gone? That is Shimmering Seas by Pole Stitches Designs. And I do love this fabric. Pole Stitches fabric smells absolutely incredible. It's such a shame they don't serge their edges. That's like my one discontent about Pole Stitches. They don't serge their edges. But like if you have Pole Stitches fabric, it's like clean and grape and washing powder. It's amazing. Or I'm just weird. I could just be weird. I'm probably just weird. So that's number 1. Number 1 is Shimmering Seas by Pole Stitches. Number 2 is Fathoms Below by Fabrics by Stephanie. And both of these are a 32 count Lugana. Is that the right way around? Yes, good. So that's the top of the fabric. And this seems a lot smaller than the Pole Stitches piece, but that's okay. And then that's the bottom of the fabric. So which one do you guys think I should stitch it on? Fabrics by Stephanie or Pole Stitches? Because I can't decide. And both of those pieces of fabric will fit that amount. They're both the same width. Well, they're supposed to be both the same width. Hold please. While I just go off on a tangent again. They're not the same width. Did Pole Stitches just give me extra fabric? Look at that. Can you see? Yes, you can. Good. It's like they're both supposed to be 18 by 27. In fact, Fabrics by Stephanie is supposed to be 18 by 26. But I don't know if you can see. They're both the same length. I should measure. I should measure that. Now I'm really intrigued. But then, they're both 32 counts. And the Fabrics by Stephanie one doesn't seem any smaller. I don't know if you can see the holes. But the Fabrics by Stephanie, the holes don't seem any smaller. So, I don't know. I'm really confused by that. Yeah, I'm really confused. I should measure that. I should measure that. We'll see. So, yeah, remembering this is what will be stitched eventually. Well, not eventually, I'll start it. And then see how I go. But, what's it called? Shimmering Seas by Pole Stitches? Or Fabrics by Stephanie fathoms below? Which one? Help me decide, please, because I can't. It even folds smaller. Well, that would make sense. It is smaller. Wow. This might be my first video to get a thumbs down. Oh, I have bits of fabric all over me now. So, that's Movember. Sorry. That's Movember. I don't have too much else. I have some haul, and then I have even more plans. So we'll get to that. As always with my plans, it's very dependent on how I'm feeling. At the moment, I'm feeling very stressed, very all over the place, very worried about the future and what's going to happen. I hope I don't have to go live with my parents for a while after the bone marrow transplant. As much as they love them, I like being in my apartment with my own space and being on my own pretty much all the day. And I will have to have someone with me all day, but at least I can like retreat to my bed or my bedroom if I need to in the first 100 days when I need babysitting. But we'll see. Sorry, my cat's being very cute. She's licking her little paws. So, yeah. I have some incredible memorabilia haul this week. I'm really excited about this. So Kyle has multiple memorabilia OOP fairies, and I just have one. I haven't actually asked if I can say her name, so I'm not going to say her name. I'm sorry, I haven't asked you yet. I meant to ask you, and then I've just, like with the video, I've been procrastinating, and I should have just asked you. But thank you. You know who you are. You are amazing. You're so awesome. I really appreciate you. You have no reason to be quite so nice to me, and you're fabulous, so thank you. 2 of these I ordered, and I can't remember which 2 exactly. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So I ordered 2, and she sent me 2 extra, so which is just completely amazing. So I now have waiting, oh the glare, that's bad. There we go. Waiting for Ships, who is lovely. She is on my unicorn list. Well, she's not anymore, but she was. I haven't done that hashtag. Are people still doing that Stitchy wishlist hashtag? I never knew if it was appropriate for me to do it, because I wasn't very involved in the community, but maybe I should do it. Maybe. Let me know if I should do it. And then Rose. The Rose of Sharon. Look, I have it. I'm so happy. She's just stunning. I will convert her hair from blonde to brown, like mine was. But once I get Stargazer done, and then Fairy Moon done, and then, what's that one called? Mermaids of the Deep Blue done, and then the next one done, she will be stitched. I'm really excited to stitch her. And she's not as big as I thought she was. She's only 19 by 12 on 32 count. And I'm finding I really do love the 32 count. And I asked Kyle if he had any fabric recommendations, and he said go with a raw linen, because like Seaside Kingdom, the background, not the background, but the archway isn't actually stitched. So whatever color background fabric you have, the archway will be. So I will be going with a raw. We'll just see which one I go for. I want to put in either a Picture This Plus order or a Colour and Cotton order before I go into hospital, and then hopefully they're done before I get out. Because, you know, I need more fabric. So we'll see. I really don't need any more fabric. Another one, my OOP fairy, my Mirabilia fairy sent me was Ashley's Roses. And she's just lovely. Look how sweet and innocent and serene her face is. She's gorgeous. I love her. I do actually really love her. So, yeah. I'm not sure when I'll stitch her, like most of my patterns, but I will eventually stitch her. Maybe when I'm like 30s, if I get there. Now, haul and plans combined here. My OOP fairy is planning a stitch along with her friends in, I think it's November, sometime in November. I'm definitely sure it's mid to late November. And she wanted to know if I can't be there in person, obviously, because I will most likely be still in hospital. But she wanted to know, if I would like to stitch along with them from here in Victoria. And I said, sure, that would be fantastic. I don't have the pattern, but I can. But then she was going to, I didn't explain that very well. She offered to send me the pattern, and I said, sure, that would be absolutely amazing. Sorry. So that's Villa Mirabilia. She is fantastic. I mean, look at her. Look at her. Wouldn't you just love to wear a dress like that? There's glare. Why won't the glare go away? I can foresee a lot of counting mistakes in that border. So we'll see how that goes. This might be the first pattern that I start. Oh no, I started Dinosaurs A to Z in the corner, in the middle, didn't I? So this will be like the second pattern that I start in the middle. Just so I start in something fun and then work around. But because she's got so much background, and the urn is, I think it's negative space, is that right? I'm just going to do her on Cream Lugana. I think it's 32 count. 32 count Cream Lugana. So she should look really pretty. I wanted to do her on fabric that I had in stash already, and I had 3 pieces of fabric that were big enough. The Reddy Brown Slate fabric that should be grey, that's not grey. Sprite by Pictures Plus, and then this cream. And I think she's going to look lovely on the cream. I think everything will just pop on it. I'm going hopefully to either Lincraft or Spotlight tomorrow, so I will buy all of her flosses then. I have a project for while I'm in hospital. I am going to bobbinate every single floss that not every single floss, but every different floss that I have, and then put them in a box so that I know which flosses I have. Because at the moment, even with my cross stitch app or my X stitch app, I know almost all of them, but there are some that are missing, and it's a bit hard to actually properly catalog it, because I have a project bag with all of my spare flosses that aren't devoted to a project currently in it, and then I have another project bag that has other flosses that I think are supposed to be for a project, but I don't know which project they're supposed to be for, and they're not in my cross stitch app, my X stitch app yet, so I don't actually technically know that they're in there unless I go digging through them. Does that make sense? I have a bag that's catalogued and a bag that's not catalogued, and I need to just have all of my flosses numerically ordered so that I can find them properly, or so that I know that I have them, because at the moment I'm like shopping from projects and it's just not working very well for me. So while I'm not feeling well, and while I have some downtime in the hospital and I'm not necessarily feeling like stitching, but I can still do something, I'm going to bobbinate them all. That's the plan. Plans don't always work, but that's the plan. I have more Mirabilia haul. I should just name my haul Mirabilia haul, because it seems to be everything that I buy. But I got these from a 123 stitch order. Basically, when Angel of the New Dawn and Rose Celebration went OOP, I freaked out and I bought a whole lot of charts, because I don't want to miss out on a chart anymore. I missed out on Rose of Sharon. I mean, I've got it now, but I had missed out on Rose of Sharon purely because I wasn't stitching when she went OOP, out of print. And I don't want to miss out on any more that go out of print. And I missed out on Violet, and I can't find Violet anywhere. And that is one I would really love to stitch. So, yeah, I went a bit mental. I don't regret it. Even if it is more stuff, I'll just put them in the folders, and I've just got to find a place that's better to store everything than my current way of storing everything. That's the issue. The issue is it's just like, it's all in a corner up near the window, and it's just, I have a, you know, the green bags that you get from Coles and Woolworths. Like, my current whips are in a bag like that, and then my kitted up projects are in a massive Skechers bag that you guys have seen, and then everything else is in 4 separate tub things, and the tub things aren't very big, but it just keeps spreading. Like, every time I want to get something out of one of the tubs, it just spreads, and then I've got to pack it back up, and it's a bit tiring going through everything just to find one thing and then having to put all of it away. But in saying that, and then there's the folders that I actually keep all my patterns in. And when I went through my cupboard, my linen cupboard yesterday, I found more. Not Mirabilias and Nora cupboards, but I found more projects that I had printed out from my iPad, because I have 3 Cross Stitch magazine subscriptions. I'd forgotten I had these ones. So one day I have to go through all of the patterns that I've got, because it's just, how do you do it? How do you stop yourselves from buying stuff? It has got better actually as I'm doing Flosstube. I think because there's always the concern that my partner will see it. Just be like, do you really need more patterns? And I'll just be like, yeah, kinda. They make me feel happy when I hold them and go through them. His mother did have a lot of fun going through the stash though, and I was supposed to just stop listening for a minute. I was supposed to get out some fabric and one of my extra patterns and give it to her as a gift, and then I forgot, and I'll have to do it for Christmas just because she's been so good. And you know, it's good to pass the stash, especially when you've got 2 copies of something. But anyway, mirror haul. There are 2 out of prints in here, if you hadn't realised. They are not the newest, but the 2 before that set. Rose Celebration, who I had actually never seen before. And I always find it funny that there are patterns that I've never seen before on 123 Stitches website, because I'm on there like all the time, just not perving on the patterns, but just going through them and appreciating them. Sounds bad. An Angel of the New Dawn, who will eventually get stitched. Basically, as soon as I hear something's going out of print, I will jump on a website and buy it at this point, because I don't want to miss them. Then we have Circle of Friends, which I absolutely love this one. I just love it. It reminds me a lot of me and my 2 best friends. So that would be me. That would be my loudest best friend. And that would be our other best friend. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the 3 of us. And I will have hair that long again. I don't like short hair. I have like a centimetre and a half. It's not really growing anymore. It looks like baby hair. Then we have the Forest Goddess, who is gorgeous. She's so lovely. I watched an interview with Nora by, who was it by? Pyrex Stitches from the last Mirabilia retreat in Sydney, I think. And she said that she did her designs in like sets of 6. Who are the other 5 in this set? Because I want them. Probably like Fairy Flora, maybe. But she doesn't have a category on her. Like the Nora Corbett's have Spring Garden Party Collection for Pixie Couture, or the Pixie Couture, or the Butterfly Misses. What's her collection name? I'd really like to know that. Is that anywhere else? Maybe. Then we have Garden Beauty, and I saw someone stitch this up, and it looked absolutely amazing. And I think they said it was their first big stitch, and they had issues with their tension through here, but she looked absolutely amazing. And she's just, when I see this, I think Jane Bennett from Pride and Prejudice. It might just be the hair and the expression, but yeah, love her. And then we have Maidenhair by Nora Corbett, who is very cute, very pretty. has some Krennic, has some beads. Then we've got Water Lily, and none of these I already had, which is good. She actually has quite a few crystals, treasures in her hair. It's not really focusing properly, but she has quite a few crystals in her hair. And then we have Evening Primrose, who I feel like her head is facing the wrong way. Like, I feel like she's looking over her shoulder, but the wrong way round. I don't know, it's weird, but I do love her. And she doesn't have too many beads, so she should be lovely. I also got some Petite Treasure Braid in PB27. So I will be using this for, where's the pattern? For Gardenia. If I can find the pattern. For Gardenia's wings. It calls for Krennic number 9294. But the place I bought the Petite Treasure Braid only had one spool of the Krennic, and my mother-in-law bought that to finish off, not Orchid, Peony. And then on the Rainbow Gallery Krennic to Petite Treasure Braid conversion, it says that Krennic 9294 Periwinkle is either PB 205 or 27. So I'm going to use Petite Treasure Braid for the first time for her wings, and it should look amazing. My last, very last bit of haul. The glare is bad, but it hasn't been taken out of its packet. Is of course Jurassic World. Of course. I can't wait to watch this again. Though I have waited for like a week or so. So I'll probably end up waiting a lot longer. I don't want to watch the scene where they finally get off the island and the clouds of volcanic stuff envelop the Brontosaur. Brachiosaur. Again, that was just heartbreaking. So we'll see how that goes. And then the last thing, which actually gave me a lot of stress, was I upgraded my phone. So I now have you don't need to see my messages. Can you stop, please? I now have an iPhone X. It's very shiny. XS, sorry. It's alright. They've changed a lot, and I don't know why they changed it. Like, there's no longer thumbprint recognition. You have face recognition. And then, which like basically means everyone could unlock your phone as long as your face is in front of it. And then there's no longer a home button. You swipe up to exit it just took me a while to get used to. I still have to give back my old phone because I just leased my phones. But I have waffled on for like an hour now, and this was supposed to be a short video. I'm sorry if I bored you. I'm sorry for getting emotional. I am sorry for this video, basically. I should probably redo it, but I'm not going to. I don't have time, and I won't redo it. I know me. Thank you to everyone. I'm struggling to come up with 3 things I'm grateful for because of where my head is at the moment. The rest of my week is just full. I'm going to, oh, it's raining again, that's nice. I have a day with Mum tomorrow to maybe sew some stuff. I'm going to take Gardenia and see how much I can get done on her. Then I have a afternoon with Dad on Thursday, depending on what time the hospital and the home people come and change the pick, dressing, change the pick, dressing. Then Friday I need to go out to work in the morning probably, just to see everyone, just to say hi. Before, a couple of weeks ago, if you'd asked me if I wanted to go back to work, if I was going to go back to that particular workplace, I would have said no. When I got diagnosed, I was basically done with Kmart. My long service leave was coming up. It was due in June. I was going to take it in August, and then I wasn't going to come back. Basically, go back. I was going to go to Europe for 6 weeks, and then I was going to have the rest of my time off just at home, just resting. I was burnt out. I was exhausted, which, there was an explanation for that. There were people that I was working with who weren't very nice. One of them has since left. And work has just been so supportive of me since I got diagnosed that it would just be so easy to go back to work. And I say that knowing that I would get completely stressed out of my brain again, and I would feel guilty for only working part-time in the beginning. But I miss it. And I've worked for that company since I was 16. So like, that company is basically all I've known, work-wise really. They're a known evil. They're not that evil, but they're known. And everyone knows my situation there. Well, not everyone, but most of the higher ups know my situation there. And I've got friends there, and I miss my friends. And now I want to go back. But I have this feeling that if I went back, it would actually be a mistake. If I went back, I would go back for good. Like, I'd probably die there. That's not a good thing to say right now. I would probably work there for the next 40 years, hating my job, hating the drive, and just not being happy, always being stressed. But I think if I went back to work, I'm probably jiggling up and down, I'm sorry. I think if I went back to work, it would be a big mistake. And yes, I'd be terrified because I wouldn't be going back to what I knew. But I think in the long run, it would be much better if I didn't go back and work there. Even though it's a guaranteed income. And it would help to have money right now. Or at least it would help me. I've now not had money come in for a while, which it's good that my boyfriend can support me, my partner can support me, because a lot of people wouldn't be able to do that. I don't know how you guys in America afford your health bills. Like, in Australia, pretty much everything has been free so far. All my treatment has been free. My stay in hospital has been free. I don't know what we would have done if we had to pay for it. Well, I do. We would have asked my parents to borrow some money. But it must just be so stressful and awful And now I've been really negative again. So let's end on a positive. The 3 things I am thankful for are all, number 1 is all of my friends and family who came to the Light the Night walk to raise and helped raise funds for the Leukemia Foundation. Number 2 is everyone who donated to the Leukemia Foundation for me in 2 days. We managed to raise $3,500 for the Leukemia Foundation before the Light the Night walk, which helps, every cent of that has gone to helping fund research into leukemia and finding a cure, like a proper cure. And then, what's the third thing? I'm really struggling here. That's where my mind is at right now. I'm thankful for my partner's mother, because she has been great at distracting me for the last 2 weeks. Don't feel guilty about me saying this. You know who you are, but I do wish that they were still down in Victoria sometimes. But I understand the reason for the move, and honestly, I would move because of that reason. We were considering it. But yeah, I'm thankful for all my friends that came to the Light the Night walk with me. I'm thankful for everyone who donated to the Light the Night walk and the Leukemia Foundation, and I'm thankful for my mother-in-law. And I'm sorry for this train wreck of a video. Bye.